What's up, everybody? My name is Vincent. Welcome to Cryptolution, where we talk about everything under the moon in the crypto universe. Today's Thursday, April 24th. In today's video, I want to talk about how dog Bitcoin in this super cycle could potentially hit between $2 to even $10 billion in terms of its market cap. Now, you must be wondering, wait a minute, that's really far-fetched. How can you predict a market cap at that level? Especially when dog right now is only at 189 million market cap. Well, I'm going to share with you in my video what potentially could happen. And there's going to be a charting and analysis breakdown explaining all that. But before we do, let's talk about how it can happen due to Bitcoin's price movement. So let's get right into it. Let's not waste any time. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join our X platform. And please be careful with any of the scammers down in the comments below. I will never reach out via WhatsApp, Telegram, direct messaging, or email. So please be careful and invest safely. So guys and girls, let's get right into it. So as I mentioned, dog Bitcoin right now is hovering around 190 million market cap. Over the past day, it's up actually 7.89%. Now let's compare that to Bitcoin's price. As of right now, Bitcoin is kind of down a little bit below 1%, while dog's actually doing quite well. Over the past 7 days, dog is doing really well, up 30%, which is actually quite extraordinary. But let's zoom out a little bit more, because we do know that there's a lot more upside, because dog right now can catch up to Bitcoin at some certain point, because right now Bitcoin is up 50% over the past year. So eventually, dog, because it's priced in sats, aka Satoshis, once this goes to the upside, my gosh, your Bitcoin would be worth more. Now, I want to look at Bitcoin's monthly return. So if you've noticed, this is every month recorded on Bitcoin's history in terms of price volatility, up and down. So in the month of April, currently, and April's soon about to end, we're at 12% in the positive, while the previous 2 months were in the negative. So what's going to happen in May, June, and July? Could we see something where it's actually in the negative? Negative 15%, maybe even negative 37%, such as 2022? Or could it look something similar to 2017? Well, we're actually up in May, positive 52%, followed by 10% and 17%. We don't actually know. But regardless of what I think is going to happen, is that we never really experienced February and March in the red other than 2020 and 2014. So let's consider one thing, that 2025 for Bitcoin is not going to be like any other cycle. It's going to be completely different, considering how bullish the Trump administration within the US is, and how Bitcoin's adoption through sovereign nations is fully reaching adoption. And don't forget, Bitcoin DeFi is now an emerging market that we've never seen before. This is the first time we're seeing Bitcoin DeFi, where VCs and institutional money is getting invested with startups, developers, and everything that's within the ecosystem, especially Ordinals and especially runes. So I definitely think that whatever happens in May, June, and July, especially given the global M2 money supply is very much in the positive, and that gold follows that same trend as well, Bitcoin may look to have 3 more green months in my personal perspective. But as of right now, where does dog stand in terms of ranking? Now, if we scroll down, we're going to see where dog is. It's ranked 200. Now, just a few days ago, this was ranked 250. So it's actually climbed the ranks, up 8% over the past 24 hours, up 29% over the past 7 days. Now, over the past 24 hours, you can see that dog is one of the very few meme coins that's actually up over the past 24 hours. And as I mentioned before, dog is its own protocol. It's very new. The Runes protocol is not the same as Solana. It's not the same as Ethereum or Cardano. It's its own market. It's its own niche audience. So again, the fact that it's performing quite well as of today and even over the past 7 days is a hint of what's about to come. Now let's talk about what Jupe shared. Now he says, according to Lunar Crush, dog's social dominance is up 506%, and dog entered the top 10 alt rank. This isn't just meme rank. We're talking about alt ranks. This is crazy. And this is the first time that this has happened in the past 13 days. So dog is now dominating mindshare across all these other altcoins out there other than Bitcoin. Think about that. Dogfather even shared an update with his meme coin intention score report that was just shared today. He says, I used the X radar post counts, which is the last 7 days, and scaled them by the meme coins by market cap. Dog is the clear leader with a post to market cap ratio of 55.2%. The next meme has only 1/4 of that ratio. Think about that. That's how crazy and viral that dog and the dog Bitcoin token has across all meme coins, not just the Runes protocol. I mean, you've already seen this article, but Lark Davis already shared that Dog Bitcoin is his #1 meme coin that you should not miss in 2025 because the narrative is just so strong. It's the best performing narrative this cycle. And then we also have Dan sharing his personal perspective on where Dog is. He says, I don't know exactly how high Dog will go at the peak of the bull market, but I'm confident $10 billion is a real possibility. Don't worry, I'm going to talk about that at the very end of the video. If things align well, that's probably conservative. It's just sitting just at 180 million right now. Book market. Now, some notes to consider. Doge is currently sitting at $26 billion before the bull market. If you don't know, Doge's all-time high market cap was roughly around $80 billion. Now, currently, Dog is getting very similar social traction as Doge. Dog is on Bitcoin. Trillions incoming. Now, remember, Doge is actually quite limited, and also Doge's circulating supply is actually inflationary. Dog supply is always going to be 100 billion tokens on the Bitcoin blockchain. It does not inflate, it does not deflate unless somebody decides to burn it on their side. It could be dependent on the holder, but it is always going to be 100 billion tokens. And the fact that it's tapping into Bitcoin's supply, meaning Bitcoin's liquid market share, it has the monetary power to flip Dogecoin. Yes, believe it or not, even if Doge is at $80 billion, Dog does not need that much of Bitcoin's market share to flip Doge. That's the best thing about Dogcoin. Dog will not need much to flip Doge using Bitcoin's market cap and market share. Because if you think about it, there are more people around the world that own Bitcoin than they do of any other altcoin, especially Dogecoin for that matter. So yeah, I definitely think Dog's going to do it. Now, in some recent news, Magic Eden on Bitcoin shared one of their updates regarding Slingshot, which is the mobile app that they required. Now, they just shared that they also tested it again using Apple Pay. So Apple Pay is connected to the Slingshot mobile app, which you could download on your iOS and Android phone, and then you could buy a dog using USDC. Very easy. I've tried it. It's actually quite amazing. And this is the barcode of which you can do to download Slingshot on your mobile phone. So go ahead and take your phone, scan the barcode on your screen and download it, and you will be ready to download and buy Dog Go to the Moon. Now, in terms of sats, we're still at around 2 sats on Magic Eden, but that's not the most important part because we're still heading into uptrend. And why can I confirm that? Look at the chart, and this is the main cookie cutter of the video. How are we going to reach between 2 billion to $10 billion market cap? Well, let's focus on Dog's price right now. So you see these yellow lines right here? Every single time you see this, this is a bottom. And every single time you see a bottom, there's a huge parabola event that happens that sends Dog Bitcoin flying. Now, what you need to see are the days that happened. So in the very beginning, we experienced Dog was down roughly 21 days. That's how long it was dragging down to the bottom. And then it only took 21 more days for Dog to return back to the upside to hit 950 million market cap to around 970 million market cap. Followed, we had a downtrend to the downside. That was roughly a 99-day bear cycle. Then, after that, we saw the next bull cycle for Dog Bitcoin. When it roughly reached around a 200 million market cap, it hit as high as 999 million market cap within 87 days. That's how crazy and quick that is. And then we experienced the next bear trend, which is completely normal, the longest that we've ever seen, which is around 116 days. So right now, we are at the very beginning of another bottom. As I mentioned before, here and here, I've been there for both of them. I've even been at the top for both of them. I'm telling you again right now, at the very bottom, at around 100 million market cap, which was the lowest that Dog has gone ever. This was the max pain zone. You're going to experience within the 115 days from now, Bitcoin going to perform quite well, roughly around $100,000 to $130,000, which means that Dog Bitcoin may not only surpass $1 billion, but surpass even $2 to even $5 billion. So what are these different scenarios that Dog can do that? Well, other than the fact that Dog has crossed the 50-day moving average, confirming a bullish reversal, look at the MACD. As I mentioned before, it's already inching closer and closer into the buyer's market. So when people start buying, the first time that we'll see Dog hit $1 billion, by the way, which is a 488% increase as of right now from the price point of Dog, you would see Slingshot Magic Eden, mobile apps such as Moonpay, Moonshot, using also Solana and Cardano decentralized exchanges. These different platforms are going to be live right now, especially Slingshot. It's going to be live within the next couple weeks. This is all live right now. And this will allow people to bring DOG back to $1 billion without a tier 1 centralized exchange listing. So you must be wondering, what's the next step? How can we reach $2 billion? Well, it's very easy. Remember, we have odin.fun coming up very soon. Odin.fun is very popular in Asia. Then you have other L2s, layer 2s that are possibly using smart contracts. So we can think about Alkanes, that's also using Ollie Wallet, that's also going to use wrapped DOG tokens of OG runes such as DOG on their platform. Then you have Fractal, also Stacks, and also tier 2 and tier 3 centralized exchanges that have not listed DOG just yet. And I'm talking about like KuCoin, say for instance. And roughly this would take us up to around a $2 billion market cap. That's 1,000% increase. That's not too far-fetched. Now let's talk about the next phase of how DOG could reach $5 billion, which is roughly a 2,795% increase from the time of this price at around 190 million market cap. Well, guess what? It would be Bybit, OKX, and Kraken announcing a tier 1 centralized exchange listing. Now, all three of these different centralized exchanges have already expressed and have shown that they've either listed perpetual trading, which all three have done for DOG, but also that they've actually engaged with the community and have actually every now and then engage with the Rune ecosystem. Some of them have Rune protocols on their decentralized exchange, such as OKX. Kraken has their perpetuals. And then you also have the Bybit position airdrop recently making a tweet talking about DOG with rewards to people who can claim to win possibly. These are all different ways of how DOG can reach $5 billion. So you must be wondering, how can DOG reach $10 billion? Well, let me go ahead and scroll up. Well, reaching $10 billion, that would be a 5,680% increase at the time of this market cap at around 109 million market cap. Well, that would be a Binance Coinbase announcement announcing that DOG's can be listed for spot trading, but also Robinhood. Imagine Robinhood, the top mobile app out there that's now going to form their own bank. If they announce that DOG is going to be listed on their platform, that would definitely surpass $10 billion. And then you cannot forget any other white swan event, right? A white swan event is like the opposite of a black swan event. Black swan events are known for, you know, like the tariffs that Donald Trump announced that no one saw coming. That's a black swan event. And also the pandemic. That was also a black swan event. But what's a white swan event? A white swan event could be that the SEC has Paul Atkins as their new SEC chairman, or that the United States is now pro-crypto. These are white swan events. So it could be outside what's happening of DOG Bitcoin that's happening in the global atmosphere. Or maybe it's the Federal Reserve deciding to turn on the money printer. That's also a white swan event. This could all send DOG to $10 billion. And remember, it doesn't have to work like this. Maybe sometimes an announcement by odin.fun can send it to $5 billion. Maybe an announcement from OKX or Kraken can send it to $5 billion. So this is just, in a nutshell, what I think could possibly happen when it comes to DOG's market cap reaching those different goal lines. And really, within the 3 months that are happening in May, June, and July, this could happen very fast, really soon. As I mentioned before, 87 days for a bull market, 21 days for a bull market to reach $1 billion. This could happen much quicker than anybody could imagine. So this is why I'm saying right now at 190 million market cap, yeah, this is the time to buy DOG. So there you have it. There is my video breakdown of how DOG could hit between $2 to $5 billion within this bull run at the lowest. But like Dan said from Crypto Capital Ventures, this could surpass $10 billion and even flip Dogecoin at an $80 billion market cap. I'm just making in this video a more conservative outlook, a more realistic outlook of what we could expect to happen. But anything can happen in this market. As I've shared with you, a white swan event can occur at any single time. But with that said, I wanted to hear your thoughts down below, your price predictions and your market cap predictions of DOG Bitcoin between the month of May through July. With that said, I cannot wait to read those comments. So by supporting the channel, and by the way, today is the 1 year anniversary of DOG, you need to smash up that like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join our X platform to receive all of our alpha calls and trades regarding DOG to the moon. Until then, happy 1 year anniversary, everybody.